Hello, and thank you so much for joining me. Today we're going to be talking about the art of astonishment. What a mammoth work this is. 3 volumes written and created by Paul Harris. Paul Harris. The Art of Astonishment. Jonah Berg asked me, he said, can you review The Art of Astonishment by Paul Harris? You know, I am not a close-up worker. No. I do some restaurant magic. I do some walk around. You know, you bid on your parties, your cocktail parties, your weddings, your restaurants, and so on. You know, I do some of it, but I would never, ever consider myself to be a close-up performer. I'm a parlor. I'm a parlor and stage worker. That's what I am. That's what I do. That's what I love to do. And this is maybe, possibly, and you can argue with me, but possibly the finest work on close-up magic ever. Possibly. Maybe not. I mean, you know, Vernon did a lot of stuff, and it's great stuff, and there's other close-up workers that have done great work too, and I don't want to diminish that, but look at this. Look at the massiveness of this work. I mean, it's incredible. Genii in December of 1996. Genii said that Paul Harris is the most inventive magical mind of our time. That's quite a high bar for Genii to say. Magic Magazine, August 1999. Paul Harris is one of the 100 best magicians who shaped the art of magic. Again, that's pretty high praise, coming from not me, but people who know. I think people who know. Paul Harris performed at the Dunes Hotel and at other locations along the Vegas Strip, and he was the technical advisor to David Blaine's Magic Man and the Street Magic TV shows. David Blaine. You know, arguably one of the great close-up performers of our time. Now, let me talk. Jonah asked me to do a review. A review gives you the pros and cons, the good, the bad, the ugly, and so on. First of all, these volumes are beautifully illustrated. They're beautifully described. Paul Harris has a wonderful sense of humor and a conversational nature that comes across in his writing. So I'm excited about that. I think that's great. Let me share this, though. If you've never seen Paul Harris perform this work, there is a DVD available where he presents not all of it, but a fraction of it. And you can, the reason I recommend that is you get a sense for what some of these effects actually look like and what his performance style is. Now, I see that's important because you can take, I wouldn't venture to guess how much, but a significant portion of the effects, at least the major effects in these volumes. If you take the effect and say such and so by Paul Harris, and you go to YouTube and you put it in and enter and search, somebody's going to perform that effect for you. Now, the methodologies are not explained, thank God. It should not be. But you'll see a number of different performers doing his effects. And then if you watch the DVD that Paul Harris made, doing his own material, you can compare a little bit. Paul Harris, the inventor, doing the effect versus somebody else doing the effect. And what I found in looking at that, again, this is not in the book, this is just an observation. Paul Harris has a very personable way about him that is a little bit disarming, and he uses that to his advantage. So at certain moments, like he'll smile and the dirty work is done, you know, and if you're watching the video and you can rewatch, You can see what's going on, but in the moment, in the heat of the moment, for the spectator, goes right by him. Well, you watch some other performers doing his material, and they don't have that timing. They don't have the same rhythm. So, it's kind of, they don't do it as well, is what I'm saying. There's, if you're going to do Paul Harris material, I don't think it's for beginners. Sorry, but I don't think it's for beginners. What I mean by that is the beginner doesn't have the sense of misdirection or direction of attention the way Paul Harris. It's so natural for Paul Harris that he didn't write about it. He didn't say, oh, you need to do this on the downbeat, or you need to do this while you make eye contact. He didn't say any of that. If you watch the performance, you see it, but he didn't say it. And so, now that's not true of all of the material. Some of the material is very, very simple, very basic, very easy to do. Anybody could do it, I think. But others, some of the more interesting plots, if you will, require a certain amount of skill that is not necessarily embedded in the book. It comes from years of experience, the way Paul Harris has, and the way some of the people who picked up his material do. So I would encourage you, if you're going to invest in these volumes, and they're not inexpensive, if you're going to invest in these volumes and you're going to start studying them and learning the magic, bear that in mind, that you're going to need a certain amount of road time to get these things proficient. I think. This is my opinion. Another issue for me, again, I'm a parlor performer, and I'm always looking for material that I can do close up, but I can also do on stage. Like brainwave, for example. You can do close up for one person. You can do it for 100. I love that, and I think one of my complaints about this, from my perspective, is that you have very few things, and you have some, but you have very few things that really can be blown up into a parlor situation. Paul Harris's orientation is close up. I mean, literally close up. One or two people right up front and personal. And a good example of this is his light, heavy dime. Where he's got a dime on a piece of table a person can't pick up. And then he's able to pick it up, but a person can't pick up. That doesn't translate well on a larger audience. So a lot of his material is that way. Now something else I want to share with you. This I made a copy. I got the magazine. I've always subscribed to Genii magazine, and so December 1996, Genii magazine, December 1996, page 29 to 30. There's an essay. Astonishment is our natural state of mind. And I made a photocopy of the essay, and I've always used this as a sort of a reference point for my own magic. And it's in book one. It's in book one. I guess what I'm saying to you is that in addition to some of the greatest close-up magic ever, there are some of the greatest essays ever in these books, and this is one of them. Tom Robbins, Paul Harris quotes Tom Robbins, "If you take any activity, any art, any discipline, any skill, take it and push it as far as it has ever been pushed before. Push it into the wildest edge of edges. Then you force it into the realm of real magic." I love that. I love that. Second paragraph. Think back to your first magical encounter. The seed experience that first excited you, then compelled you to do magic for yourself. Someone did a trick for you that made you gasp. Now, Paul Harris wants to reconnect us with what he considers to be the natural human state, which is a state of astonishment. And he sees magic as a vehicle to do that, and he explains that in this article. The article, by the way, is a reprint of an essay in Volume 1. I consider it to be one of the most important essays about magic, about the theory of magic, ever written. So, Jonah Berg, if you're asking me what is my review, I hope I've communicated. I think these are monumentally important works, especially for the close-up worker, but not necessarily. I think any performer of any kind can benefit greatly by reading and seeing the incredible creativity. One more comment I want to make. I've been doing magic all my life. My magic, stuff that I've worked on and developed, could never fill a single volume. No way. No way. The fact that he has filled 3 volumes with workable good magic is one person. Now, Tarbell has many different contributors. The fact that one person can do all this is mind-blowing. I'm just staggered by it. Anyway, Jonah, that's my review of The Art of Astonishment. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching. Please comment down below. Please subscribe if you've not done so already. I will see you next time.